The sun was just beginning its descent over the dusty town of Redrock. The shadows grew longer, casting an eerie stillness over Main Street. Sheriff John Thompson, a weathered man with a steely gaze, stood on the wooden porch of his office, watching the horizon with a sense of foreboding. Redrock was a quiet town, far removed from the lawlessness of the frontier. But whispers had been spreading for weeks about a notorious outlaw gang, led by the infamous Black Jack McGraw, planning to hit the local bank. Sheriff Thompson had been preparing for this moment, knowing it was only a matter of time. As the clock struck 5, the ground began to rumble. A cloud of dust appeared on the outskirts of town. Thompson's heart quickened. It was them. He turned and called out to his deputy, Sam Jenkins, a young and eager man who had been under his wing for the past year. "Sam, gather the posse. It's time," Thompson ordered. Sam nodded, running off to alert the men. Within minutes, a group of 10 brave townsfolk, armed and ready, gathered in front of the sheriff's office. Among them were familiar faces: Old Bill, the blacksmith; Tom, the saloon owner; and Jake, a farmer with a sharp eye. Thompson addressed his posse, his voice steady and firm. "Men, Black Jack McGraw and his gang are headed this way. We have to protect our town and our bank. Stick to the plan, and watch each other's backs. Let's ride." The posse mounted their horses and rode towards the bank. They positioned themselves strategically, some on rooftops, others hidden behind barrels and crates. The streets grew silent as the townsfolk retreated into their homes, peeking through windows and doors with bated breath. Moments later, the gang thundered into town, their horses kicking up dust. Black Jack McGraw, a tall man with a scarred face and cold eyes, led the charge. His men dismounted and headed straight for the bank, their guns drawn and faces masked. "Now!" Thompson shouted, signaling his men to spring into action. Gunfire erupted, echoing through the town. The sheriff and his posse fought bravely, their bullets finding their marks. Black Jack's men were taken by surprise, but they were ruthless and fought back fiercely. Thompson took cover behind a water trough, exchanging fire with one of the outlaws. He saw Sam, crouched behind a barrel, firing steadily. Old Bill and Tom were holding their ground, while Jake's sharpshooting skills proved invaluable from his rooftop perch. The battle was intense, but the posse had the advantage of surprise and determination. One by one, the outlaws fell, until only Black Jack remained. Realizing he was outnumbered, he tried to flee, but Thompson was faster. "Surrender, Black Jack!" Thompson shouted, his revolver trained on the outlaw. Black Jack hesitated, then dropped his gun and raised his hands. The sheriff approached cautiously, his posse closing in to ensure there were no tricks. "It's over, McGraw," Thompson said, his voice filled with relief and authority. The townsfolk began to emerge from their homes, cheering and applauding their sheriff and the brave posse. The threat to Redrock had been quelled, and the town was safe once more. As the sun finally dipped below the horizon, Sheriff Thompson looked around at his men, proud of their courage and unity. Redrock would sleep peacefully tonight, knowing they had a sheriff and a posse willing to stand up for justice, no matter the odds.